Welcome, ladies and gents, back to the 3L channel where we live and learn by. Thanks so much for tagging along this weekend, and I'll tell you what, I am actually recording today on Thursday. You guys aren't going to see it probably till Saturday or Sunday when it drops, primarily because this is a Piers Morgan interview, national television. He's a well-known talk show host, and part one of this video I did quite a few months back, and it was blocked. So I'm anticipating the same thing this time around. We will see what happens. Hey folks, listen up. If you're new here to the channel, just visiting for the very first time, my name is Chad. Welcome aboard. Keep your feet up, relax. Enjoy some great quality content as usual. This is primarily a music reaction channel, but from time to time I do interviews just like today. So folks, without further ado, this is part 2 of Life Stories with Barry Gibb on the Piers Morgan Show. Don't go anywhere.
On September the 21st, 1967, the Bee Gees were on TV with their first #1 single.
In Massachusetts.
That night, Barry's life would change in more ways than one.
It was the Bee Gees' first performance on Top of the Pops.
The girls I was with, they said, oh my God, that guy is so handsome.
Mom was Miss Edinburgh, and she was a good-looking girl.
Their eyes met, you know.
He's looking at you, and I said, no, he's not. And they said, oh, he's coming over.
I think for Dad, yeah, he'll always say it was love at first sight.
He asked me if I'd like to go for a cup of tea.
For the end of the day, I think they were making out in Doctor Who's phone booth.
God, Barry was damn attractive.
Barry and Linda became an item, but the course of true love didn't always run smoothly.
God, he had women left, right, and center if he wanted. He'd messed around a couple of times, and I was not very happy about that. I still don't know why I was the one, but I'm glad I am.
Even Barry's mum was aware of his reputation.
When he told his mum and dad, oh, this is Linda, we're going to get married. And I'm in the kitchen with her, and she said, don't be silly, love. She said, he says that to all the girls.
VIP transport for very important pop star Barry Gibb.
Despite his mum's skepticism, Barry did tie the knot with Linda.
He's getting married to 20-year-old Linda Gray. Linda's a former Miss Edinburgh.
They've now been together for nearly 50 years.
He is the, epitome of the doting husband.
Still, they love each other today just like they did then. Yeah, they're very romantic.
I don't think anybody else would put up with him, actually. Or me.
I'm not going to sleep tonight.
I could see you shaking. I could see you gesticulating. Clearly, the torrent of revelations there was taking you by surprise, Barry Gibb.
It's amazing.
Was it love at first sight?
I think it was. I think in my own head I thought, that's the woman I'm going to spend my life with.
What was it about Linda that really enraptured you?
She's a very, very special person, and it's not how one looks she's just so full of love and full of fun, and she has a great sense of humor, and we tend to laugh a lot more at everything around us than we could find anything to be unhappy about.
Linda? She's sitting there.
Yes.
You didn't know she was doing an interview for this program?
No, I did not.
You do now, obviously.
No, I did not. But look at my daughter.
Yeah?
She's incredible. They're both incredible. Yeah.
Would you like to elaborate on you, Linda, and what happened in Doctor Who's TARDIS?
Yeah, that won't be it. We had a cuddle. And yes.
Well, given what you told us about what went on in Australia, I find that very hard to believe.
No, she was very good. And she wasn't going to have any nonsense from me.
When did you propose? And how did you propose? Do you remember?
I think I proposed at Eaton Square. No?
This is great. This is absolutely great.
Will you tell us?
Adam Trow, then you went to America with Robert Morris.
Right.
So I'll leave you two to the interview.
Thank you for that.
Do you remember how you proposed?
No.
How did he propose?
He did get down on one knee.
I did get
did.
down on one knee.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Can't do that now. I won't be able to get up.
Linda, in the interview, obviously suggested that you were a bit of a naughty boy.
I wasn't naughty. I think naughty is the right word. I hadn't quite settled it, you know. And I was still in that realm of, well, my God, this woman's fantastic. Oh, she's nice, you know.
And was that before or after you got married?
Oh no, it's before we got married.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, she can't talk. Believe me.
That's always talking.
No, I always
You got a great relationship, amazing marriage, 5 children, 8 grandchildren now, I
Yes.
think. What would you say to Linda right now?
I love you.
You've had many showbiz pals over the years. One of your close friends was Michael Jackson.
Yes. He used to call me up. He would say, you know, can you sing How Can You Mend a Broken Heart? Just sing a bit of it for me.
Michael Jackson used to call
Yeah.
you. I get you to sing How Do You
Yeah.
Mend a Broken Heart down the phone.
Yeah. And
And what would you do? Sing it?
Yeah.
I used to drink with him.
Oh yeah. We
Would you got drunk with Michael Jackson?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. I think mainly sake, because we
Sake?
both love sake and
Japanese wine.
Yeah.
You and he would get drunk on Japanese wine.
What's wrong with that?
It's just so weird and random. What else would you do?
Nothing. We'd sing, play music.
Your son actually told us that Michael once accompanied you to see one of his school plays.
Yes. Instead of Michael dressing down, he just went for it. You know, the shades and the braids. He gets out of the car, straightens himself up, and he goes, "Where's your shades?" I said, "I can't wear shades. This is my kid's school." And so you sit at the back, you know, and watch everything. Kids on the stage are going, they're not saying it, they're mouthing it, you know. And incredible.
You've had huge success as a performer and as a songwriter, and your brothers had been with you every step of the way. By the late 1970s, Barry and his brothers Robin and Morris were at the peak of their powers.
The three of them had a very different sound, and when they sang together, the blend was unlike anything else.
The love they had for one another, watching them on stage, you felt it.
They were very much together. They laughed a lot.
Then did you go to the mic and go, Max got some dynamite in his office?
I just have to pause here and just say the sibling chemistry, for the most part, is just so funny. I mean, they're like comedians, really, honestly. And yes, they had their spouts and everything like that. We all know that. But beyond that, they obviously could work together in the studio. They had to in order to bring these masterpieces together. And the way their voices blend, and you know, the practice and the dedication that it takes. You know what Barbara said about the boys even when they were young. As she was walking down the hallway, she thought that they had their radio on and they were actually singing. Just beautiful harmonies, very professional. And on this channel, I like to inject this in here while it's fresh on my mind. On this channel, that's what we focus on. We focus on the beautiful masterpieces that they gave us. They were experts in their craft, and every one of them needed to be present in order to be considered the Bee Gees. Unfortunately, that's a concept that still many are not grasping.
Dad and Robin are both very strong personalities and highly competitive. Morris really was kind of the uniter and kind of brought everybody together a lot.
And it was time to bring another member of the Gibb family centre stage. Ladies and gentlemen, our brother Andy!
That was so beautiful.
12 years Barry's junior, Andy had been too young to join the Bee Gees, When he turned 19, he became a star in his own right, with 3 US #1s which Barry co-wrote and produced.
He looked like Barry. He sounded like Barry.
Dad and Andy were almost like twins, kind of like 2 peas in a pod.
Just as Barry enjoyed success with all 3 of his brothers, he also began to work with artists outside the Gibb family.
There was no one higher in demand from other artists to write and produce than Barry Gibb.
Islands in the Stream, sung by Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers, became one of the biggest selling country singles of all time.
My dad being such a huge country fan, I think is probably one of the things he's most proud of.
But while Barry's songs ruled the charts, his brother Andy's life had unraveled. He'd spent years battling depression and cocaine addiction.
I remember my grandfather George telling me, Andy's gone. And I said, I don't know what you mean. He's gone. And he said, he's dead.
Only weeks after his 30th birthday, Andy had passed away from a heart infection, his body weakened by years of drug use.
Everything changed for all of us when that happened because it was unfathomable.
It was the first time I seen my dad cry was at Andy's funeral.
I had never seen pain and heartache like that.
But I think that drove them back to, we gotta keep going, we gotta keep making music.
The Bee Gees went on to write and record throughout the 1990s. At the turn of the millennium, the 3 brothers had been working together for more than 40 years.
We're sort of doing an arrangement at the same time as we're going.
Morris would very often come up with a chord we did not expect him to play.
In January 2003, Morris had emergency surgery on a blocked intestine, but just before the operation, he suffered a heart attack.
I mean, he was living a very active and happy life. None of us saw it coming.
He went in so quickly, and then, the next thing you know, he's in a coma.
He died 3 days later, at the age of 53.
I miss Morris a lot. Morris was always like the man in the middle between him and Robin.
The loss of Morris was the hardest blow to the family.
Barry kind of sunk into what I call a black hole. And yeah, he didn't really want to do anything. And that was a sad time.
An awful blow to you. You've had many blows, but Morris's death was just a devastating, shocking moment in time.
Yeah. Well, it was so quick. I mean, I think that was, after losing Andy, that was crippling emotionally for all of us, for the whole family. And it wasn't something you could understand. If someone can be there and gone in 2 days,
You didn't even really know he was sick. I mean, this just happened out of the blue.
I think he knew maybe for a few weeks that something was wrong, and then it became very sudden. What can you say? I mean, I can't really say anything that makes any sense.
What kind of man was Morris?
A great family man, very outgoing person, very loved kids, loved magic, loved being funny. A very funny man, very outwardly humorous. Robin was inwardly humorous. Morris was outwardly.
Morris was kind of the bridge between 2 brothers who were
we were always
not
in
exactly
conflict.
easy bedfellows as siblings.
No, we were always in conflict. Robin was intensely creative, and between the 2 of us, wanted the attention. And if we didn't get it, we would compete for it. I think we loved each other deeply, but I think we've competed all the way. Not with everyone else, not with other artists, with each other. Yeah.
Andy was 30 years old. I mean, just so young.
We were forever changed. I don't think we were ever the same as 3 brothers because we'd lost Andy. Especially at such a young age and such a beautiful person, Andy and I were very much alike in that we loved the same things. Morris and Robin were twins, but not alike. And so they were closer to each other. Andy and I were close to each other. So we worked together a lot.
The father took the deaths of Andy and
broke his heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mum. And I think that when your youngest is always, that's always the toughest thing. And so it broke their heart. Dad passed away a few years after that, but really from a broken heart, you know. Andy was his little light, you know.
How did you find the strength to keep performing and recording with all these tragedies happening in your life?
Because performing is the strength. That is that's the fountainhead for me, is to be able to perform and seeing people light up at a certain song, and that's it for me. I do everything in my life to please my family. I don't do it to please other people. That's the most important thing in life for me.
Barry, I'm sitting opposite one of the most prolific and successful songwriters over there. Hi, Paul. You came up with the explosions in the song Tragedy. Explain.
Well, this was not a period where technology was, you know, everything. You couldn't just make something happen. You had to go and create it.
Well, we want to try and recreate the magic of your explosions.
Good luck.
So we have got a mic, I think.
I'll do that.
And we have got the track lined up. So what we need from you, Barry Gibb, is some explosions. That was an explosion. That's fantastic. Your mother, Barbara, very sadly passed away in August. She was 95 years old.
She was a spiritual force. I mean, Mum was the one who didn't go to shows, but always got us ready to go to shows. She discovered us. That's what she said, you know. And of course she did, you know. She said they wouldn't be here without me. And I think that's true.
Literally.
Barry, after over half a century of making music, you're still very much at the top of your game. In 2009, Robin and Barry recorded a TV special. It would be the last time they ever performed together.
They had a deep love for each other, but they weren't talking so much.
Okay, well, nobody seems like you, so it's like...
get together.
We should get together. We should have lunch.
The pair lived on different sides of the Atlantic, and Robin had news he was keeping from his brother.
Dad, he'd seen a picture of Robin in like a British newspaper or something, and he said he doesn't look well.
He brought a picture of Uncle Robin to his doctor, and the doctor looked at him and said, "You better go see your brother. He's seriously ill."
You better go now. He said he hasn't got long. But we never knew.
Only then did Barry learn that Robin had been diagnosed with cancer.
To see this man just deteriorate before your eyes was so sad.
Dad went over there to say goodbye to him. He was laying in bed, barely able to speak.
I hope Robin heard everything, Dad was saying, and went in peace, and knew how much his brother loved him.
It was an incredible loss to him. Incredible.
Robin's death meant that Barry was the last surviving brother.
My dad felt like he needed to at least go do something.
I said, well, you have God-given talent. Get off your ass and make music.
So Barry did get off his ass and went on tour.
Him getting back on the road was soothing for his soul. He needed to be lifted up again.
It's everything to me. It's all I've ever known. I don't know how to do anything else. I can't get a job.
The tour was a family affair, with Morris's daughter Sam on vocals and Barry's son Stephen on guitar.
This was an incredible experience for me standing next to him.
Barry had his mojo back and began writing his first new album for 15 years, collaborating with Stephen and his second son Ashley.
A minor and then B.
Writing with them was like writing with his brothers, and I can hear them laughing in the other room, and that makes me feel good.
The album, In the Now, won rave reviews and gave Barry a #2 chart hit at the age of 70.
The voice sounds as good as ever. There appears to be no waning of his powers.
I think he's just going to keep on going for as long as he possibly can, you know?
It's just amazing that he goes on and on and on. And don't forget, he's a real dad, and he's a real grandpa.
Papa is incredible at what he does. He's amazing. He's awesome.
We like to be silly together. We'll look at each other just sometimes and we'll just make like a crazy face.
We're very proud of you. We love you. We couldn't ask for a better father.
Staying alive, staying alive.
The best thing that ever happened to me, yeah, it's been a wonderful life.
Love you.
We love you, Papa. I love you, Papa.
It doesn't get better than that, does it?
No.
If your grandchildren said, you know what, we're going to form a band, we're going to go into the world of pop, how would you feel? Would you want them to?
Yeah, I think you should follow your bliss. I think you should follow that thing inside you that says, this is what you must do with your life. Go for it, believe it. But believe it. Don't half believe it, because that won't work.
After Robin died, when you look at all the iconic video images of the Bee Gees, there are the three of you around a microphone.
Yeah.
And you said that you could almost feel each other's breath on each other's necks. You were that close.
Yes. You could tell what we'd all eaten. You could tell what we'd all drank. You could everything about that human essence was there around one microphone. And the sharing of the songs, sharing of the performances, knowing when it was really good and it really worked, and in a way it was profound, what we were doing. I'm always reliving it. When I'm on stage, they're still around me. I'm never without them. And it's always what would Robin think, or what would Morris think, or they're just there. And Andy, it never goes away. Never goes away.
How would you like to be remembered?
It's one of the Bee Gees. That's it for me. I'm still playing second fiddle, and I enjoy playing second fiddle.
What do you mean by that?
That I can never be the brand name the Bee Gees were. I can never really make that all happen again, you know. So I reflect on it. I love writing songs. I still love doing what I'm doing, but I've realised that everything stops at some point. No matter who you are, no matter how famous you think you get, you're never aware of it, and it ends at some point.
What's been for you the moment that, when you look back at your career, if you could relive it again right now, which one would you choose?
The day we met, the day I met Linda. The day I met Linda is the greatest spiritual moment of my life. And to know that I didn't have to search anymore, that here she was, you know. There's always, other women, and there's always other guys, but this was an absolute certainty, and I stopped searching.
If you thought to yourself, right, of all the songs I've ever written, I'm going to sing one of them, which song would you choose?
To Love Somebody. To Love Somebody. Because it's always been a joy to do, a clear, emotional message.
When you sing it now, who do you think about?
There's only one person I would think about, you know.
Well, Barry, it's been a remarkable experience to go through your extraordinary life.
Thank you.
To Love Somebody might be a perfect way to finish the interview.
Let's see if I can do it. I don't know some of it anyway. Okay. There's a way
we say to do each and every little thing. But what good does it bring if I ain't got you? Ain't got you. Hey, you don't know what it's like. Baby, you don't know what it's like to love somebody, to love somebody the way I love you.
Beautiful.
What can we say, ladies and gentlemen? The man himself. Honestly, folks, there's not much to say after an interview like this. If you have not seen part 1 of the Piers Morgan exclusive, please check out my channel, my playlist, or type it in the search bar or YouTube to get the full interview. Thanks so much for tuning in this weekend. What can we say about Barry? Just a great guy overall, very respectful to his wife and to his family and to his brothers, Andy, Morris, and Robin. If you like the content of this fabulous trio, the brothers Gibb, otherwise known as the Bee Gees, make sure to tune in every other weekend because that's exactly what we do. And on the alternate weekends, we do oldies and classics. So make sure to subscribe if that's something that you'd be interested in. Thanks so much for watching this content. Make sure to share, subscribe, and like these videos to spread the word about the 3L channel. Take care, until next time.